Pilot Rock is a community of over 1,600 people located in eastern Oregon. Combined enrollment at its elementary, junior high, and high school totals nearly 550 students. Pilot Rock is nestled against the Blue Mountains and is surrounded by wheat farms and cattle ranches. With 2 lumber mills, the town is economically dependent upon a struggling timber industry. Up until the fall of 1994, Pilot Rock also had a struggling school food service program. The previous year, the school district lost $30,000. Prospects weren't any better for the next year. For Pilot Rock, it was a crisis of opportunity.
We faced the problem of having a lunch program that was not making a profit. We were losing about $3,000 a month. And
it started as a brainstorm. We felt it had a lot of potential.
We wanted to come up with an idea in which we could break even. And so working with Jane Gillette from the Department of Education.
And we kept asking why not and what if. And as a result of that brainstorming session, said let's give it a shot. Let's get some kids in here to do these activities that we know need to be done in order to make a program successful.
We were able to come up with this nutrition service management program in which the kids managed the program.
Brand new classes.
The first thing students had to learn was that they really were in charge. At first, some didn't believe it.
We didn't really know what we were supposed to be doing, and I honestly didn't know we had any problems with our lunch program.
I got into the class and we didn't know what we were doing.
As expected, the first month with students in charge, they lost money, about $5,000.
How about you, Jeff? Did you have a survey to do?
Early on, students from the Nutrition Services Management class decided to set a long-term goal of having the program financially break even within 3 to 5 years. However, by November, it was apparent that students were beginning to turn things around. In January of 1995, the Pilot Rock Food Service turned a profit.
And so from that point on, it's like it is now. The class is really exciting and it's really interesting.
No one will be able to go downtown for lunch. They're going to have to eat here. So I think that will really help our program.
Obviously, going from losing money to making money involved change. The students decided one of the first things they would change was the menu. But they needed to know what kids in the cafeteria liked and what they didn't. One of the best ways to find out is by doing a food or garbage audit.
We wanted to know kind of what the kids were throwing away and how much of it.
And if they don't like it, then we just try to use it up and then not order it anymore.
Because we obviously don't want to use that anymore if they're just going to throw it away.
Pilot Rock offers a wide variety of food pyramid choices where students serve themselves.
We sent out surveys to the high school kids. Since they are our clientele, we decided to ask them what they wanted and just took the top about 20 choices off of there.
We're constantly surveying the students to find out what they like or what their preferences are, so that as their taste changes, we're able to keep up with them on the lunch program and meet their needs.
Perhaps the biggest change made during lunchtime was adding an a la carte restaurant. An old stage just off from the cafeteria was a perfect location. To create a distinct atmosphere, the restaurant was painted and lighting adjusted. They named it the Hard Rocket Cafe. While some students worked on the menu, other students were involved in designing the logo, and still others spent time promoting it to classmates.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah.
While some of the nutrition service management students were adjusting the lunch menu, others were working on breakfast. The first change made was at the elementary school. They decided the reason most elementary students weren't eating breakfast was because it was too expensive. Instead of charging 75 cents, the price was dropped to 30 cents.
We just sat down with the class and discussed why kids weren't eating down there. and came to realize that they didn't take as much as they were paying for. And it seemed like a lot of money for the elementary kids, and so we dropped it to a price that seemed reasonable for little kids.
The number of students eating breakfast increased immediately. So did the breakfast income.
And when we started out, there were about 30 to 40 students, and now they're up to 85, 90 every day.
The second change to breakfast was at the high school. Breakfast was served at 8:15, but students weren't required to be at school until 8:30. So most students didn't show up until then.
And nobody was going to come early if they didn't have to. During that time, breakfast was served, and so no one was coming in.
Working with the school principal and the Pilot Rock School Board, a plan was devised. Students are now required to show up in their homerooms at 8:15. They then have the choice of staying in their homerooms or eating breakfast. Classes then start at 8:30. Most students decide to eat breakfast. Today, a manager who holds her technical teaching certificate works with both the students and the food service staff.
I work in the cafeteria actually cooking and helping with the meal preparation, 3 to 4 hours a day. And then I work in the classroom with the students as far as instruction. The actual classroom time is about an hour and a half, and then there's out-of-class time that is about 2 hours a day.
I don't think there's a teacher in the state of Oregon that has the knowledge of a food service person in teaching how to manage a food service program.
The existing food service staff had to learn to work with the students, and the students had to learn to work with them.
We've had to work directly with the cooks. It's been kind of hard because they're older than us and they've been in the program longer and they knew what was going on, and then all of a sudden we had to change and figure out everything that was going on.
I was worried, if I could handle it or not, because as a cook, I've also have some years on me, so I'm hoping to work as the rest of my years right here. I'm happy, and I thought maybe it might be more than I could handle.
The cooks didn't want to hear something from a 17, 18-year-old.
It was a little tense at first, but now we get along really well.
It's a matter of teamwork now, and that's exactly what our goal is to work together.
Now all of these are 100% juice.
Nutrition Services Management is an excellent on-site school-to-work experience.
I think everybody in the Department of Education is quite excited because this does fit into what we want for the 21st century. We want to have relevant and meaningful school-to-work experiences for kids.
The students rely on each other's strengths and draw on the knowledge of those around them. For example, when the class was having accounting problems, they asked teachers and staff for help. And a computer class volunteered to design and print the menu.
This class is really unique in it has turned the kids loose and let them manage something. In this particular case, happens to be the food service program. And they have done an excellent job of figuring out where the money goes, what they need to buy, what they need to sell, what works, what doesn't work.
Part of running a business includes exploring all of the options available. This year, that meant investigating various sources of available money. As a result, several classmates were hired to work in the cafeteria under the Job Training Partnership Act. The class is also working with the Oregon Department of Education Child Nutrition Program and the town's Recreation Department to offer a summer food service program combining camp activities and good nutrition for local children.
We're looking into the possibility of starting a summer foods program here in Pilot Rock because enough of the students in Pilot Rock qualify as free and reduced. We think we can qualify as an open site, which means we can offer a free lunch and snack to anyone age 18 and under every day during the summer.
We went out and said, you don't want the food, why? What do you want?
The news of Pilot Rock's success has spread quickly. At the Oregon School Food Service Convention in March of 1995, hundreds of food service personnel from across the state crammed into 2 sessions to hear the students describe their work. A few days later, the Oregon Small Schools Association came and toured the school. For this presentation, the students completed an entire book laying out exactly what they did and how it could be replicated in other schools.
We were the first ones here. We led the way, and we set the example for others to follow, and I think we did a pretty good job of it.
I think anybody can do it.
Oh, I definitely think it can be accomplished because we've done it.
I think we've opened the way, and anybody else who wants to get into it, feel free. Fair warning, it's not what you're expecting, but you get a lot out of it. It's definitely something that I think other schools should get into.
More has changed at Pilot Rock than the cost of food or the addition of the Hard Rocket Cafe.
I've learned how to work with a team better. You have to be able to change your schedule around and stuff and find time for everybody, that everybody can be together at the same time to work on things.
I think it's really made us realize what the real world's going to be like as soon as we get out of high school.
I think it's taught me a lot about the food industry, but more than that, I think it's just taught me how to get along with people because we have such interaction with the cooks and our teachers that we've really had to work to get along with people.
The kids obviously have shown a lot of growth. They started out this last September really being high school students, expecting the traditional high school class. In the meantime, has matured as young adults because they had to take on the responsibility of running an adult program. And I think the anxiety that's created from running a program, especially trying to make a program that's losing money, make money, really made these kids mature.
And when it comes to food, these students are all business.
If it costs us 14 cents to buy a pretzel, we can sell it for 50 and make a substantial profit. That's what we look at everything as a profit now. Every booth that we went to, how much would this cost to sell? And they told us and we said yay or nay, and ate it or didn't eat it. That was our...
So it's your bottom, you're looking at the bottom line. I mean, you changed it. I mean,
oh yeah, it wasn't just what does it taste like. Now that doesn't matter, it's can we make money and it tastes good at the same time.
Pilot Rock's first class of Nutrition Services Management students were all seniors. Next year's class will contain a mix of juniors and seniors.
I think it's kind of unfortunate that we didn't have someone in the class this year that could carry it on, but I'm hoping that we've set up a good enough base that they can pick it up from where we've left off.
Because I think we've kept good records of what we've done all year, so they're going to come in and have a feel for what we've been doing, and I don't think it'll be a problem.
Of course, you know, they won't do as good as us, because nobody could, but they can try, you know.
For more information on how to set up a program like the one in Pilot Rock in your school, contact Oregon Department of Education Child Nutrition Programs at 503-378-3579.